Pembroke is lying, or else he doesn't remember. Now, we had finished planning the menu, and then he went upstairs. Mr. Bueller and I were alone in the drawing room at 9 p.m.
Your brother was shot at exactly 9 p.m. So, we had a lying butler. All right, I'm broad-minded. I can accept that. He could have had reasons. Maybe he was having a tete-a-tete with the upstairs maid. Maybe he was busy stealing curtain rods. Maybe he actually killed him. Is Mr. Bueller staying here now?
Oh, yes. The police advised everybody that they couldn't leave the county. And since this estate takes up 1/5 of the county, I'm stuck.
Yes, Pembroke was lying. Jessica was with me. I can imagine why the poor man would lie, though.
Give me a little hint.
He's got a criminal record. I advised Derek against hiring him in the first place.
From what I could gather, Pembroke's last employer had been mixed up in some illegal stock manipulation, and Pembroke had found out about it and was extorting money from him. Everything was hunky-dory until the stockholders woke up one day without their shirts. Then that fine gentleman was sent to prison for fraud, and Pembroke was sent to the same prison for blackmail. I figured that must have been kind of convenient having your own butler in jail with you.
I hear that Pembroke has a brother who's in prison right now on a robbery charge. It's not what you would call a good family.
Anything that interesting in your life?
Goodness, no. Feel free. Probe, poke. I'm afraid you will find my life quite boring.
All right. I know it was stupid of me, but I was scared. I figured you thought I was the only one on the second floor. Besides, I've already got a record.
So what were you doing?
Sitting in this chair, polishing Mr. Bueller's boots, just like I'm doing now. Now, I know you're not going to believe this, but look out that door. See, you got a good clear view of Mr. Reardon's door. Now, I have good ears and I have good eyes, and I'm as attentive as the next butler.
What are you saying?
I'm saying no one came in or out of that room for a good 5 minutes before he was shot. No one.
Was Mr. Reardon in there the whole time?
As a matter of fact, I don't think he was there at all. I thought he was in his bath. I heard the water running, and I just thought he was taking a late-night soak.
Weren't you the one who drew his bath?
No, I told you I knew you wouldn't believe me. I've got work to do.
I hate to disappoint you, Mr. Detective, but I don't have a motive.
Every wife has a motive.
Well, I suppose, but I don't inherit anything. That's what I meant.
It's hard to disinherit a wife.
Is it? Well, maybe I can do something. You see, Derek was afraid I was marrying him for his money, which I was, of course, so he made me sign this paper before we got hitched.
I have a motive, if that makes you feel better.
Well, there you are. Tom inherits, so does Dr. Moorfield and Jessica.
Please, stop trying to cheer me up. Now, where were you?
At the fateful moment? Yeah. Let me think. Tom and I were in the library. Tom, you were playing solitaire, and I was sitting by the radio, only I wasn't really listening.
You were talking.
I must have had something on my mind. You can check with the others. I'm sure they all heard me.
I've heard a lot about you. I tried to be objective about Sissy Loper. That's like asking a kid to be objective about hot fudge. Just to prove to myself that I was disciplined, I asked her alibi. Sissy had been taking an evening stroll, and there was no one to confirm it. And that tended to make me believe it. It's the ones with the strong alibis you gotta watch out for.
Hi, boss. A few facts I managed to charm out of the cops. The gun in the drawer, the one beside the body, was indeed the murder weapon. One shot in the heart from 5 feet away.
So, unless our Derek had the reach of an orangutan, he could forget suicide.
Mr. Kavanaugh.
No one asked me to stay for dinner. They never do. So I had to fool with my Packard outside for about 10 minutes before anybody asked what was wrong, and I could tell them I was stranded. I figured keeping the pressure on was just not a bad idea. By the way, who poured the wine here last night? Does anybody know?
Pembroke, of course. Can't we eat a normal meal?
Now, I know everybody here must have heard Mrs. Reardon talking in the library last night. Can anybody remember what she was talking about?
Honestly, Kavanaugh.
I don't think anyone really listens to Elisa, but I guess I did hear her talking.
You know something? You got a slight German accent there, pal.
Observant? Mm-hmm. Is that a crime?
Austin was a pilot in the German Air Corps, and Derek shot down his plane over France. That's how they met.
I am not the kind of man to hold a grudge.